So see you guys very shortly.
What I want you to want, what I want you to feel, but it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. So let go, I'm watching you, turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got. I can't feel the way I did before, don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored, time won't take this damage anymore, don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. I'm a little bit insecure, a little unconfident, cause you don't understand to do what I can, but sometimes I don't make sense. What you never want to say, but I've never had a doubt. It's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you for once just to hear me out. So let go, watching you, turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got.
It's showtime.
Okay guys, welcome back. You are watching the Shinhan Tank Pro League. My name is Kix. I am your host, caster, and well, yeah, that's what I am. I'm the runner or the organizer of the STPL and the main caster. I was joined by Rapid, but then Discord went down, so he went to bed. And I am going to be your solo caster for today. If you've just tuned in, we're moving into the fourth game between NaS and pSi. And it's been an exciting series so far. We've had some close games, some very, very good engagements from both teams. And it looks like this is going to be a chance for the final Psi player to get some pride back in Week 2 for Psi. Psi were one of the most consistent, but unfortunately one of the unluckiest teams from Round 1. So they didn't do too well. They went 0 for 5. And they're going to be looking to do a little bit of a better job this time. And this is a good way to start, so let's actually move on over to the main overlay. I'm just quickly setting up the colours to make sure they're all ready on the overlay for when it starts up, and then we can get going. So it's going to be a kind of cool map. I really like this one, and I hope you all enjoy it as well. So hopefully I've not just broken the colours. I think I may have broken the colours. Yeah, I did. It's all good. I'll fix them. Yeah, hopefully you're all having a wonderful Monday. I know it's afternoon for Americans, very early morning for Koreans, and for Europeans it's evening, so hopefully you're having a nice evening, morning and afternoon wherever you are. As we move on over to the overlay, and let's have a look at who our players are going to be. Just need to make sure I move on over. There we go. Here we go, so as you can see on your screen, we do have fighting for NaS. It's going to be the 100% overworked Protoss. It's going to be SuGo. Did a very, very good job in round 1, went 3 for 2 for his team, and was a very consistent performer. As expected of the self-proclaimed best American Protoss. I'd like to see that tested, but still, he's a really good American Protoss either way. I know back in the day, I did play quite a lot with him. I don't know if he remembers me at all, but I was the Terran player he kept like dunking on. But you know what? I played a lot of TVP with him and had a lot of fun, so that was fun. And his opponent, gonna be a very old school player here for Storm. It's gonna be Prase. He's also Protoss himself, and it's gonna be really interesting PvP here. As Prase actually didn't do too badly last round. He did. I don't think he played a PvP last round, at least the stats don't say he did. It's possible that my overlay missed it out. I need to make sure I sort of look at my database and make sure everything is 100% accurate. But he did go 1 for 2 last round, put in a good few performances for his team, had some very, very close games. and he is going to be looking to have another close game here as we move on to our fourth map of this evening, our fourth and final game of the first set today, but there is another one coming up after this. Let's look at the map they're going to be playing on. It's going to be Triathlon. This map spawned for the PD Pop MSL 2009, and one of my favourite 3-player maps that has an in-base gas natural, but the only units that can get there early on are workers. They can use the gas to glide through the invisible eggs. And if you want to know where Sale is, he is still trapped in Cadenzi's basement in Scotland. Cadenzi couldn't get a visa to bring him to Korea, so I'm hoping somebody is feeding him. I do miss Sale, but unfortunately he hasn't been around for a long time. And he's done what he did before. He's probably been very busy with work, and you know what? He needed a break. He used to cast a hell of a lot. Like, I don't know how he did it. But the game is coming up now as Triathlon, really cool 3-player map. Let's have a look at it as we move on to the game. And let's get started with our fourth and final game of this evening. What? Not final game of this evening. Final game of this set. We've got another series coming up after this one. Let's move on over. Okay, so starting us off this time in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the blue Protoss fighting for NaS. It's going to be SuGo. And his opponent down here in the bottom left-hand side is going to be fighting for pSi, going to be looking to get a little bit of pride back in this series, try to put a win on the table for pSi. It's going to be the purple Protoss, which some would say gives him an inherent advantage in this game. It's going to be Prase. And if I remember rightly, Prase is the person whose name is a cow pun, I think. I can't remember what language it is, but I'm fairly certain Prase is cow. Maybe. I may be mixing him up with another pSi player, but I'm fairly certain he is the guy. Maybe I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've cast the STPL. It's been about 2 weeks. And I was in Amsterdam the week before that, so it's been 3 weeks, I think. And you know what, there's a few things that I've forgotten, but if someone could confirm or deny that in chat, that would be very nice. But it looks like we're going to have both of them going for a fairly standard build now. We do have SuGo building his first pylon near the ramp, so we could see a little bit of Zealot aggression coming out from here, and we're going to have Prase do the same thing. So there is a few options you can go from here. Of course, you can play standard, you can go 1-gate goon, you can also go for a very, very quick expansion behind this as well. The gate at the ramp, of course, does allow you to reinforce that a little bit quicker, allow you to hold on to it as well. And yeah, Blur, wait, is it Blur? Yeah, I guess it's kind of Blur. I was in Amsterdam for 5 days. It was a lot of fun. It was a real high point in my life, that's how I like to call it, because it was really fun. It genuinely was great, it was a lot of fun, but either way, moving on to the game, I guess, we're going to have a little bit of scouting from both players, not really too much deviation, both of them going for mirror builds right now. So I suppose it's okay for me to talk about my Amsterdam trip, but genuinely, the Amsterdam trip was the first time I've been properly relaxed in, like, I don't know, more than a year. Like, I always feel relaxed and look relaxed when casting, well, at least I think I look relaxed, but I definitely feel it, because I really enjoy casting, but I've not had the best of time at work recently. It's getting better again, but it's certainly been a stressful time, and since I've come back from Amsterdam, I've decided to try and get stressed less, because living every day, like, super stressed is just horrible. Like, it really feels terrible, and I don't want to do that anymore. I'm just not going to let things stress me out. Like, I really enjoy casting, it's one of my favourite things to do, and I enjoy Brood War, which is why I do so much. And obviously I don't do as much as people like Vincent. I don't think he ever stops casting, but yeah, I'm going to try and get less stressed. Unfortunately, I was casting with Rapid today, but Discord crashed and he went to bed, so it's just me today. But hopefully he'll be back on Wednesday. Hopefully we'll get a full cast in. That should be a lot of fun. And, I mean, both players still relatively doing even builds. Not really too much to say Other than the fact we do have 2 Zealots out first for SuGo, that does save his gas up a little bit more. So he's going to be able to get a quicker Dragoon range, I believe, this enemy. No, actually, it's later. Where did that extra gas go? Okay, I'm genuinely confused where the extra gas went. I guess he didn't put 3 guys on gas straight away. He's done a really good job building his core there, by the way. That's actually going to make his gas mining a little bit more efficient. Of course, the vertical one, not super efficient, as you can see. You had that probe doing that on the third one. It may not look like a lot, but especially at the highest level, I would say it makes a huge difference. Like people like Nada was winning tournaments because he was mineral boosting, which gave him in a TVT, for instance, you would see him mineral boosting, and he would have just everything ever so slightly faster, and that's like a testament to how damn good he was, because mineral boosting is so hard to do consistently. And it's why he's one of the few Bonjours of the Brood War era. But here we go in this PvP. I don't know what I'm talking about. Terran player. We do have both of them looking. Well, we at least have Prase looking to be a little bit more aggressive. Now, interestingly, we had SuGo go back here, and Prase did as well, but they didn't build a Nexus. We're going to have a little bit of a micro battle here. There is 2 Zealots. Against 2 Zealots, 2 Dragoons against 3 Dragoons. That is going to go in favour, I would say, of SuGo, especially because he does have the high ground. But Prase needs to be careful not to lose these Dragoons. He's done a very good job pulling back the damaged ones though, and he is going to have to wait for more reinforcements. But I think it's going to be hard for him to break up here. We do have the robotics facility coming in for him. We do have the robo in place for Prase as well. He did go straight for the observers this time. That's going to allow him to go for very quick observers. Going to be able to scar what his opponent's doing. Now, I'm really surprised that SuGo's buildings are so far behind. They're both even on supply. Of course, SuGo did spend that extra 200 minerals on the Zealots, so 300 minerals now. He also has 1 less gateway, so Prase is going to slowly start to pull ahead in the supply. But Prase getting his faster Nexus as well. I'm genuinely surprised that Prase is able to do this against SuGo. SuGo, he's got more units. I guess Prase must have skipped his units to get that quick attack, and this could actually cost him the game even. Prase is doing his best to micro back, but he's going to get caught against the invisible eggs, and that's going to be 4 Dragoons for free by SuGo, so really nicely done by him. But Prase is not down and out. He's going to be behind in supply. He's got more gateways though. It's going to allow him to go a little bit more ham. He's going to be able to build his units a lot quicker. And you can mind control that Arbiter. And I believe I need to test this really badly, because I've been saying this every time it's appeared. I'm fairly certain it has stasis and recall. It doesn't have energy though. You get the other 2 upgrades. And it starts with no energy, but still you get the upgrades, I'm fairly certain. I think that was one of the major reasons why it was so broken for Protoss, and why this map was so heavily Protoss favoured. When I put this map in the pool, I thought we might see a few PvPs on this map, but surprisingly, this is the first PvP we've seen on Triathlon, and if anything, in a foreign tournament where there are so many Protoss players, I was actually genuinely surprised. More and more teams have got more and more diverse rosters. NaS last round had nothing but Protoss and 1 Zerg, I think, and a couple of Zerg race pickers. But now they've got a Terran, they've got a full-on Zerg in Terror and Eon Zerg. You did see both of them play today, and they do have their strong Protoss lineup from before. And many of the other teams are doing a really good job diversifying as well, so I'm really excited to see that the STPL is still growing. We're only on round 2 of 4, and this is the first cast in a while, but week 3 was actually played on Sunday, so I'll be catching up with casting eventually. I may be a week behind until the playoffs, but that's okay. If anything, that works out a little bit better for the players, and a little bit better for me as well, because there was a bit of a gap between the of round 1 and the playoffs last time, where I had to wait for the games to get played. So either way, the teams have done a fantastic job making sure all their games get played, I mean, if they can, if it's possible, and they've all shown some incredibly good games. The teams have definitely improved between round 1 and 2 as well. you can really see how much effort the teams are doing and putting in. But here we go, the Reaver going to be a linchpin in this force, not quite managing to shoot, but another observer getting taken down. And Prase is going to be in a lot of trouble. He's got pure Dragoon against Dragoon, Zealot, Reaver. And the Reaver, of course, is in a shuttle. We do finally have a shuttle of his own. Does he have a Reaver inside of it? No, he doesn't. But he does have the Reaver outside the front. That's going to be a pretty big moment in this defense. He has a nice spread, but is it going to work? It looks like the Reaver a bit confused. The Scarab getting stuck behind his own Dragoons. And that wasted Scarab could be enough to actually allow SuGo to push in and make his way into a 4-0 victory for NaS. Is it going to be enough? Is Prase going to be able to hold on? He's trying to micro his Reaver. Does barely manage to hold his natural, but for how long? The Reaver is going to be running out of Scarabs. Looks like he's going to have to micro really well. Actually dropping into the Scarab a little bit. Oh no, he dropped into the Scarab splash. And that's going to be huge. It looks like this is going to be it for Prase. He's done a brilliant job so far. But it looks like SuGo proving to be a little bit too strong. Prase is going to lose his natural. And as Rapid would say, it looks like Prase is going to have to look towards learning his alphabet. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 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 G. I really can't believe Rapid says that. But you know what? Prase has put in a fantastic effort this game. But SuGo just finding the perfect angle, the perfect moment to push in. And it looks like he barely doesn't get the shot. Does he get the shot before the Reaver goes down? No, he doesn't. But will the Reaver go down? Yes, it will. The Reaver's down. But Prase is still barely holding. It's going to be so difficult for him to retake his natural at this point. It looks like we do have SuGo moving in. And looks like, yeah, there we go. Looks like SuGo is actually going to pull back. Now, is Prase going to take his in-base natural? I really want to see him take this, just to extend the game a little bit longer. But SuGo in a great position now. He's up nearly 40 supply in a mirror matchup, which is not a place you want to be in. Prase is moving out with his few Dragoons. But he needs to be careful. He can't move out with a... Oh! Was that the shuttle? I think he got the shuttle with the Reaver. Yes, he did. What an amazing snipe. Wow. Prase with the, like, next level sniping there. Gets the shuttle, gets the Reaver. And he may have just done enough to pull himself back into the game. He's going to take his Nexus again. And is that going to be enough? Is he going to be able to pull back? Or is he going to fall to the defense of SuGo? He's trying to go for a counterattack here. Scan once said to me when I asked him for a little bit of advice, he says when you're behind, you either try and play super greedily or you go for an all-in. And it looks like we're going to have an all, well, not an all-in, but he's going to go for some double-pronged aggression here. Going to draw, oh, 2 Reavers in the mineral line. That could be huge. And it looks like it might be. It looks like SuGo's pulling back a lot of units, but this is 2 Reavers. He doesn't quite have speed on his Scarabs, and it looks like the Dragoons have been caught out. So that's actually going to be a little bit dangerous for Prase. But he does save his Reavers. He saves a good number of Dragoons. He didn't have that many over there to begin with. And it looks like he did a decent amount of damage. How many probes did he kill? I'm not too sure, but it looks like, interestingly, SuGo trying to take his 3rd base before Prase. And while he does have the army advantage, that is going to be something he can do, but he does have to be careful to watch out for those Reaver drops. We could see some Templar coming in very shortly as well. No, we won't, because there's a Citadel. But of course, SuGo does have the observers. He does know exactly where Prase's army is, and here we go. It looks like we're going to have a big engagement here, but this could actually be a very good engagement though for Prase. He gets the Reaver, and he gets a lot of the units. Prase is doing the impossible. He is pulling his way back into this game, but it looks like that could be a little bit of a problem. He did lose the rest of his units to SuGo's forces that were back defending, but that was a great engagement beforehand. But without those Reavers, is there much to defend at home? There's only 5 Dragoons, and there is 2 observers that will spot this, and this is going to force, well, it's going to make SuGo want to really push in, but he needs to be careful. There's actually a Reaver here now with full Scarabs, but there's no shuttle here to defend it. This Reaver is going to be very in a dangerous position. It looks like he's going to pick it up, but is he going to be able to hold on? This is going to be such a big ask. The shuttle goes down. But so many Dragoons have actually gone down in that. What a great hold by Prase. He's still 30 supply behind, but somehow, some way, he's holding on in a game that looked like it was over about 5 minutes ago. He is completely decimating SuGo's army every single time he pushes in. And what a great hold by Prase. You can definitely see where that probe advantage, though, is coming in for SuGo. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no, 6 gateways and a Templar Archives for SuGo, and only 4 gateways for Prase. So that is where we're seeing those amazing... That was a great Scarab. That's where we're seeing the sheer number of supply coming in from SuGo, but I think he also has more probes as well. You can see he's got 3 bases fully saturated, and even though he's doing his best to hold on, eventually he is going to be behind. Like, I mean, he's behind already, but he's going to find himself more and more behind. It looks like he's going to try and play greedy here. It looks like he's going to try and hide a base here over in the other natural in the main. As you can see, there is such a huge walking distance between the bases, so it could be a long time before SuGo actually scouts for this, but he's sending an observer down to the bottom right. This is some 6th sense stuff, as this probe, I think, is going to try and go into this base here, and it's going to get spotted. Oh, this is such a bad situation for Prase to be in. He's trying to hide a base. It's not going to work. Looks like we actually have 5 kills on that Reaver already, which is kind of impressive. All the observers pulled away. Could this be the moment that Prase goes for that hidden base? Or is he just going to dance around, dancing with probes over here at this this possible 3rd base location? It looks like SuGo is thinking about the same thing. He's sending a probe down here as well. Maybe this was just a scouting probe by Prase, and he is going to see this probe, so that's going to work out for him in the end. And I'm fairly certain he does know about the backdoor base, but he's just not using it. I don't know. He probably doesn't know about this one, though. He did lose all of his observers. He's seen where the army is. Can he pull off that miracle hold again? Or is this going to be the moment that finally puts the nail in the coffin for Prase? SuGo with just such an overwhelming army. He's got Archons now, he's got DTs. And if Prase loses his observer, his one pure observer, he has no detection until the... Oh, he needs to be careful. He's going to get this cannon up. That's going to help him detect, but could we see that observer go down before then? Is there even enough units? Looks like a lot of the Reaver Scarabs going down on the Zealots. Looks like he's jumping on top of the stuff back here. It looks like an insane engagement again, though. I genuinely cannot figure out what's going on. Looks like we do have DTs on top of this last Reaver, though. That's going to be enough, I feel. Prase, calling luck, is going to say every step GG, and SuGo is going to take SuGo is going to take NaS to a 4-0 victory in the series. Okay, so that was the first game, well, the first set of games for today. I'm going to bring up the results screen for that in just a second. But of course, there is a second series, so don't go anywhere. I'm going to have a quick few-minute break in between, but I'm just going to report this game, report the win for NaS as well, and then we can have a look at the results screen just to round out that series. So let's move on over to the main overlay, and let's get ready for the next series. So see you guys, well, wrong thing. Here we go. As you can see, NaS taking a 4-0 victory over pSi. Some very, very close games, very interesting matches as well. If you did miss any of them, the VODs will be going up on my YouTube channel tomorrow. I'll post them in the thread as well. We did have Eon Zerg taking down Toker in a TVZ, a ZVT even. Dragon taking out Mitak in a PVZ, Terra taking out Headmaster in a TVP, and SuGo with the PvP victory, as you just saw, on Triathlon. Now, we're going to be moving on to our second series of today, so do not go